had this happen to me. Here's what you did. What block? You do this little knob here. Flick that down and it goes on to vibrate. And then your phone will ring and then you flick it back up.
Did you take these things up?
Well, that was
Looking at mine.
Mashed up right there. $40 steak, $20 pork. What I've been doing.
I don't even know what the actual.
What I've been doing is this, going in heavier. And when I step down, free. Do not take them off. And then I do that. Do not shove on. But it's disturbing. And I turn the volume all the way down, but it's still good. It did it in the middle of a damn deposition the other day. What?
How about safety?
Who was supposed to
I already told you somebody else.
Let me show you the picture.
No, this is from the DUI.
For what I'm doing now.
We just read that thing speaks for itself.
Well, no, it's like the same always in all positions.
Let me show you the video that came out.
Is everybody ready?
Sir. Outstanding.
By the council. Make a big deal.
All ready? Uncomfortable silence one of those nights. Good evening. I'll call this meeting of the Cartersville City Council to order. If you'll please stand for invocation and pledge.
Bow with me as we pray. Our dear gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, we come to you tonight and just thank you for this opportunity to carry out the business of this great city. And we thank you for the leadership. Thank you for the leadership that we're adding tonight and the wealth of knowledge that comes with him. And so we thank you for that, for watching over us. We thank you for safety. We thank you for what you're doing and the way the virus is reacting and things are coming somewhat back to normal. We ask that we would continue to see that progress and that people would stay safe, and those who are still ill, that they would find health and strength quickly. Thank you for the beautiful weather that we've experienced, and we look forward to a great summer coming ahead of us. Be with us now as we carry out this business of the city and go before us and give us knowledge, and it's in your name we pray. Amen.
Go in the pledge. Pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Drake, the roll, please.
Carrie Hodge, Ward 1. Jay Stepp, Ward 2.
Here.
Carrie Roth, Ward 3.
Here.
Calvin Cooley, Ward 4.
Here.
Gary Fox, Ward 5.
Here.
Taft Wren, Ward 6.
Here.
Thank you, Julia. First order of business is the approval of our council meeting minutes from May the 6th. And council, you've had an opportunity to review these. Now would be the time to make any adjustments to those. And if there are none to be had, a motion is in order.
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Minutes are approved unanimously. Mr. Porta, get us started on a good note tonight.
Yes,
please.
Mayor. I'd like to make the official appointment, if the city council approves, of the new assistant city manager. I know this has been a little while in the making. It's taken a little time, but came down to 2 qualified candidates, and Mr. Freddie Morgan is the one I'm recommending this evening. He's got 31 years of experience. He actually previously worked for our election department several years ago, and went through the ranks there and went to the city of Marietta and to the city of Covington. He's currently the city of Covington assistant city manager. Brings a wealth of knowledge to the city, and I recommend him for your approval this evening. And if approved, he'll be effective on starting the first day on June the 14th.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions or comments? Not, a motion is in order.
May I make this motion approval for Freddie Morgan Jr.?
I'm on the second of that.
I thought you were gonna. I thought there was a speech coming. I know you like dramatic pauses sometimes. I didn't know if you wanted to.
I don't want to go any further because we go a long way back, but I know him personally, and it's a testament the things that Jace does and that I have done to see young men grow up and prosper and make something of themselves. And you can see that youth development goes beyond sports into a bright, intelligent, family man, solid citizens. And I congratulate you, third. I recommend approval.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
Don't mind, Mayor, we're going to swear him in this evening for the effective date of June 14th.
Absolutely. Step on forward.
You will raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will support the Constitution of the United States and of the state of Georgia, that you will in all respects observe the provisions of the charter and ordinances of the city of Cartersville, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of office so help you God? You will just sign.
As you can see, he's a lefty, so that's another reason why, good quality.
Tell me about it.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, this needs to be effective June 14th as,
Thank you all so much.
Welcome
Would
home.
you, Freddie, would you like to make some, please, make some comments? Introduce us to your family. Do whatever you like.
I've got my, well, in the back row, I've got my mom and my sister, Tracy. I've got my wife, Deidre. I've got my grandson, Levi. He's looking at me. I've got his mom, Melinda, who's our other daughter. And then I've got my daughter, Hope. So thankful for them. They surprised me to show up, so I appreciate that. But very thankful to be home, very thankful, love this community. Grew up here and we lived here until I moved out to Covington 4 years ago. So very thankful, appreciative to you all and to Dan for this opportunity. So thank you so much.
Thank you and welcome home.
Thank you.
Yeah. Mr. Menino, you have the next item, please, sir.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Rick Knapp, who's the chairman of our Alcohol Control Board, his term is expiring on the board, and Mayor, he is your nominee, and he is willing to continue to serve if reappointed.
Absolutely.
make a motion to reappoint Knapp.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Continue on. Mr. Porter, you got the next couple.
Yes, Mayor. The Cartersville Library Board, our appointment is Randy Sunshine. Currently, her term expires June 30th this year, and she's willing to serve a new term if reappointed through June 30th, 2024.
Questions, comments, or motions?
Motion to approve.
Second that.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. And the next one, please.
Yes, sir. The Land Bank Board members, we have Fritz Stent, Antoine Hill, Jessica Mitchum, and Scott Painter, and all four of these members would like to be reappointed, and their terms would expire June 30, 2025, reappointed.
Okay. Any questions or discussion on that? If not, motion's in order.
Make a motion to approve these appointments.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. I'll be recusing myself from the next item.
Item number 6.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. This is an annexation and zoning request for properties located up by the Savoy Museum. First, I'd like to know that they've been properly posted and advertised. There appears to be no conflicts of interest. With that, there are a couple of individual tracks left to complete the campus out there for the museum that's currently under construction and hopefully to be opened early this fall. As you can see on the display there, those two parcels, one on 411 and one there off of Oak Drive, kind of shape up the property. I don't believe there's any proposed buildings proposed on these properties as part of the overall campus. They will be included in the landscaping and so forth. With that, the Planning Commission did recommend approval of the annexation and the zoning of these properties.
Thank you. At this time, council, any discussion? Is there anyone in the audience that come forth to talk for our guests? If not, this item is the first reading and be taken up further at the next council meeting. Move on to item number 7.
special use permit.
I do, I'd like to see if the mayor was coming back.
Questionable,
I was stalling.
It's all right, go right ahead, Randy, thank you.
Thank you again, Mayor and Council. This application is for a special use permit located at 780 West Avenue. This property also has been properly posted and advertised. There appears to be no conflicts of interest with it. The property formerly had a used car lot located on it. I believe it's back in 2018, Daniel Imports was located out there. It had been a used car facility for several years. Most recently, I believe there were furniture or outdoor playground equipment was being sold off that lot. With that, the applicant is looking to reestablish a used car lot at this location. With that, those are only allowed in the office commercial zoning district with a special use permit. The applicant has went through the process, has been through the planning commission hearing. The planning commission has recommended approval of the special use permit.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Randy at this time? All right, if there are none, I'll open up a public hearing for SU 21-03 and ask anybody wishing to step forward to speak for or against to do so at this time. Sure, come on up. Just step up to the podium if you would, your name and your address for our clerk.
Hello, my name is Yvonne Perez. I'm here representing the Best Auto Sales.
I'm sorry, can you move the microphone a little bit down close?
Yeah, I can.
Make yourself comfortable up there.
Okay.
Thank you.
My name is Yvonne Perez. I'm here in representation to Best Auto Sales Experience. The address is 780, sorry, give me a second, I have the address here. Sorry for that. And 780 West Avenue, Carrollsville, Georgia. Yeah. It's my first time doing that.
It's okay, we're just talking, don't be,
Okay.
there's no need to be worried about anything, just tell us what you think.
Okay, I think we need a lot. We need a bigger space to the customer. We believe we can make a difference when you sold a car. For us, is more than, hey, here's the car. You need a car? We want to take care of the customer, and we need a space to do all of that. Right now, we have our office in 1202 North Tennessee, but we don't have the space to have the cars. And I think if we have the same spot, we can take care for the customer, like say, hey, here's the car, you can do all the paperwork here, that would be fantastic. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Any questions?
So this is sales, car sales?
Yeah, it's auto sales, it's used cars.
I noticed you had your T-shirt said.
Oh, yeah, because it's a story behind that. I work for both. Yeah, the same owner had the auto repair here in Cartersville, and we fixed the car there like a donation. And we donate that car to the lot, and the lot can sell that cars. It's like, if you have a good car, you have the good repairs, and if you need something, you can go to the Best Auto Repair too.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Continue the public hearing for SU 21-03. Ask anybody who wishes to speak for or against to do so at this time. And seeing none, I'll close the public hearing for SU 21-03. And council will take this up for consideration at our first meeting in June. Who's next? Randy, you got another one. Thank you, sir.
This particular property, 5 Boatner Avenue, is part of the first-time homebuyers program. The owner had purchased it, has fulfilled their obligations under the first-time homebuyers program. With that, they are looking to sell the property, and with that, they are requesting that the council release the quitclaim deed that is on there. With that, it expired after the first 5 years. it met all the requirements, and we're requesting that council authorize the mayor to sign said document.
Okay, thank you. Questions, comments, or motions?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Randy. Mr. Gillum, you're up next.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Coming to you with the last 6 contracts from the last RFPs for the renovation project with the Goodyear Clubhouse. These are the kitchen appliances with strategic equipment for $12,173.37. Carpentry with Epic Designs for $68,735. Restroom partitions with commercial services for $13,340. Glass units with Rick B. General Contractors for $12,000. Drywall and acoustical ceiling with Rick B. General Contractors for $13,000, and the electrical with JR Electrical for $28,390. These projects are not budgeted, but the funds will come from the tourism product development, the remainder of the GEO bond, and the general fund. These contractors and companies are recommended for your approval for the renovation of the Goodyear Clubhouse.
Thank you. Any questions for Tom on this? I know we think we talked about this at our last meeting. What is the projected, not holding you to a specific date, what is the general time frame from when we would expect the work to be completed on this?
It'll be early August.
Okay, well, it's not that early. Okay. All right, thank you. If there's no other discussion, a motion's in order.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Dan, you got the next item, please.
Yes, sir, Mayor. This is the annual memorandum of understanding with the Main Street program for our DDA, and I recommend this for your approval.
Thank you. Questions, comments, or motions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Mr. Dixon, you got a handful this evening.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. The gas system is proposing a main extension along Cass White Road and Carson Loop to serve 2 new customers. Both customers have agreed to pay their portions of the entire extension. This agreement stipulates that the Commerce 75 development owner will be responsible for all costs and overruns associated with the construction of their portion of this extension. The estimated cost of this installation is $107,405.53. This agreement has been approved by the City Attorney's Office, and we recommend Council's approval.
Okay, thank you. And this actually covers both the extension agreement for Commerce 75 and Commerce Center at 75, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Those are listed as 2 separate items on the agenda. Council, if you so choose, entertain a motion to approve both those items.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Both items are approved. Next one for you, please, Michael.
This is the gas system is proposing to extend the 6-inch gas main along Great Valley Parkway. This is in conjunction with the Highland 75 Phase 2 development. This gas system, the gas system requested bids for 825 feet of steel line pipe from 3 vendors. We received 1 bid and 2 no bids. The single bid was from Consolidated Pipe and Supply of Lawrenceville, Georgia, at a price of $20,212.50. Material and labor for this extension is reimbursable by the Bartow County Joint Development Authority, and I'm seeking council's approval.
Okay, thank you. Questions, comments, or motions?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Continue on, Michael.
All right. We're also requested bids for 870 feet of 8-inch line pipe for a relocation project along Cass White Road. We received 1 bid for $27,492 from Consolidated Pipe and Supply of Lawrenceville, Georgia, and 2 no bids. This relocation's labor and material costs are reimbursable by a relocation agreement with the owner of the Northwest 75 Logistics Park, which was previously approved by council. This agreement covers the relocation of the existing 4-inch steel main in like kind. This portion of the relocation is actually part of an overall Highland 75 and Toyo Tire expansion project. We have determined that the relocation of this section of main should be upsized to an 8-inch to deliver more capacity to the area for future development. The associated relocation agreement will recover $14,355 of this purchase, and the Bartow County Joint Development Authority has agreed to pay the balance of $137. This has been approved by the City Attorney's Office, and we are recommending your approval.
Okay, thank you. Questions for Michael on this item? If there are none, a motion's in order.
Make a motion to, I'll second that.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Mr. Greer, you are up next.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. This is a budgeted annual support renewal for our CrowdStrike Falcon Complete software. This is the antivirus software we use to protect all city computers and servers for a total of $62,188, and recommend this for your approval.
Thank you. Any discussion? If not, a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dan, you got the next one.
Yes, sir. We have a travel insurance deductible reimbursement for an accident last fall with one of our police cars. We owe $23,981.08 and recommend your approval.
Questions, comments, or motions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Mr. Forsyth, we're up.
Yes, Mayor and Council, this is for the Fairview tank exterior painting is a 5 million gallon steel storage tank. The picture is up on the screen there if you'd like to see it. That's our oldest storage tank. It was built in 1969. We last recoated it around 2000, but we painted over the old paint. So the original paint is still underneath there, and it is a lead-based paint. So that's the reason for the higher cost for painting, because we're going to remove all that down to bare steel. And these companies are qualified to remove this and remediate it, so there's not a toxic waste removal. We received 4 bids, the low bid being Utility Service Company for $546,200. Is a bond-funded project. Recommend this for your approval.
Thank you. Questions, comments, or motions?
Question, I guess, when going back to the steel, how long is that new paint they typically think it's going to last, just out of curiosity?
It's a 20-year coat, generally, but
You know, with the technology that's improved any with the going back on there.
yeah.
They put cars will graphic back on. Just that.
There is an option for that. I do not know how much that will cost.
I was curious.
If you choose to, I will ask them to do that. But at present, it will be a solid coat.
Any other questions? If not, a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Continue on, please, sir.
Yes, so this is the water tank cleaning and inspections. Every 10 years, we're required to at least inspect and clean our groundwater storage tanks. This was last done in 2013. We will clean 3 of them. We own 4. The one you just saw will be drained during this time, so we're actually going to clean it manually. This will be done by commercial diving contractors qualified to dive in potable water systems. We are also adding in this project the cleaning of 3 tanks at the water treatment plant, as well as inspection and cleaning of the intake structure on the face of Altoona Dam, which have, as far as we know, have never been inspected. And we requested bids, received 2 bids and a no bid. The low bid being SC Diving Services for $34,100. Recommend this for your approval.
Thank you. Any questions? If not, a motion's in order.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Last one for you, Sydney.
Yes, so this is both an engineering services agreement. We're requesting council approval for the mayor to sign an engineering services agreement with Gresham Smith Engineering. This is for our I&I project, or inflow and infiltration. Is for the sewer system to repair and control the inflow into the sewer system from groundwater and other sources. We've obtained a lot of data for this project, and now we need an engineer who's experienced in evaluating this data and recommending the most cost-effective solutions to fix our I&I program, or to fix our I&I problem. Along with this engineering services agreement, we also have the first task order to do just as I just mentioned, to evaluate this data and provide recommendations. That is for $16,000 with Gresham Smith Engineers. Recommend this for your approval.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion? Not, a motion's in order.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Sidney.
Thank you.
Mr. Reinhardt, close us out. Give us good news.
The sun is shining, is that good? Honorable Mayor and Council, tonight we'll be looking at the financial report for March 2021 and comparing to March 2020. First of all, in the general fund, the revenues decreased from last March by $834,000. Expenses decreased by $716,000. Two areas of revenue I look at on a monthly basis: local option sales tax increased there of about $103,000. And by the way, we haven't seen that in quite some time. Building permits and inspection fees have a decrease there of about $68,000. In the water and sewer fund, revenues decreased over last March by $490,000. Expenses increased by $490,000. This is due to increased personnel expenses, increased operating expenses, increased capital expenses, decrease in debt service, and increased transfers in general fund. Excuse me. In the gas fund, pardon me, revenues have decreased from last March by $70,000. Expenses increased by $1.1 million. This is due to increased personnel expenses, decreased operating expenses, increased cost of purchase gas, increased capital expenses, increased debt service, and increased transfers to the general fund. In the electric fund, revenues decreased over last March by $720,000. Expenses increased by $1.3 million. This is due to increased personnel costs, decreased operating costs, increased cost of purchase electricity, increased capital expenses, and increased transfers to the general fund. Stormwater fund, revenues decreased over last March by $74,000. Expenses increased by $91,000. This is due to increased personal expenses, increased operating expenses, and decreased capital expenses. Solid waste fund, revenue decreased over last year by $260,000, and expenses decreased by $96,000. This is due to increased personnel expenses, decreased operating expenses, and decreased capital expenses. And finally, in the fiber optics fund, revenues increased over last March by $23,000. Expenses increased by $109,000. This is due to increased personnel expenses, decreased operating expenses, increased debt service expenses, decreased capital expenses, and increased transfers to the general fund. Cash position for the month of March 2021, excuse me, unrestricted cash balances increased slightly, and restricted cash balances also increased slightly. SPLOST funds, 2003 balance is $44,953.49. SPLOST 2014 fund, $532,680.43. SPLOST 2020 fund, $2,145,964.37.
Thank you. Any questions for Tom on the financial report?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make some comments. Ann, if you can go back up to the top portion of that spreadsheet. As I kind of alluded to in my memo to the council on this one, you can see the general fund. I mean, if you recall, we had a budget work session yesterday. Last year, this time, COVID was in full stream. We didn't know what to expect. The budget was very restricted for us. But as you can see, our net profit last year to this year is really within $100,000, a little over $100,000. So within the general fund. So our general fund is doing extremely well. Our department heads to be appreciated and thanked for that because they held the line, knew that the budget was going to be tight, and the revenues, fortunately, we didn't have to see the major dip that we were anticipating because we didn't know what to expect. Things were shut down, but fortunately in parts of Bartow County and Georgia, things were opened up, and it's trended well with all our departments. I know some of the numbers you're hearing from Tom, and he's reporting accurate numbers, but also we've done very well. Very thankful to Tom and his staff to keep up with this information, but with only 2 months left, or 3 months left in the fiscal year, we're doing very well compared to what we anticipated at the start of the year. We didn't know what to anticipate, but just wanted to make sure the council was aware of that.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments on the budget, the finance report?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is there any other business that needs to come before council this evening? Just quickly, I'll make a note, this will be the last meeting before high school graduation, so I want to congratulate those that will be completing their high school education, another year in the books for the school system, and then also this will be our last meeting before Memorial Day, and offices will be closed on Memorial Day. If you have garbage pickup scheduled on Monday, it'll take place on Tuesday. If it's scheduled on Tuesday, just be patient, they'll get to you. If you get home and your garbage happens to not be picked up, they'll probably get to it on Wednesday, but our guys are great, they'll probably get to it on Tuesday anyway, so. That's the only thing I've got. Anybody else? If there's nothing, the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn. There you go.
David returns, we have short meetings. That's another reason why.
I just keep wondering when he's gonna start dozing off.